It's a spring training game between the Yankees and the Pirates from George M. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. And we've got Gerrit Cole's first televised appearance of the spring. Your reactions coming up next. This is Yankees Game Night. Yanks broke out the lumber today. I am loving it. How's it going, everybody? It is Oscar Sunday, and we are 11 days from opening day, and the Yankees picked up a spring training win.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Weird to think that we're just 11 days out, and Gerrit Cole was making his spring training debut today. Now, he's been pitching in intra-squad games, which kind of allows the team to better control how many pitches he throws, how much stress are on those pitches, and really keep your ace in sort of a contained bubble, to keep him as healthy as possible. He came out throwing smoke in the first inning, 2 strikeouts and a perfect 14-pitch inning, mostly 97, 98 with the fastball. Not a lot of secondary pitches early on. He was working mostly the outer part of the zone. He said in his interview that he was working on spotting his fastball. Threw more breaking balls and changeups as the game went on, but they weren't great. They're not in midseason form yet, but that's to be expected. As we mentioned, spring debut today. Josh Donaldson was in the leadoff spot today, and he smashed a gargantuan home run off the bottom of the scoreboard in left field. By the way, he looks legitimately probably 10 years younger without the beard. I got to say, he just looks younger. Jesus King with the super chat. JD, baby, let's go Yankees. And Charlie Moore, $10 for luck. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Pirates went up 2-1. Short porch opposite field home run from Diego Castillo in the second. Pirates got another one on a home run from Cole Tucker in the top of the third. Gerrit Cole was done after 49 pitches. Mostly fastball today, like we said. Working on arm strength, threw a few breaking balls, mixed in a few changeups, gave up a home run on the changeup. Don't worry much about the results. I know some people who don't watch a lot of baseball get kind of worked up over the spring results, but honestly, these guys are just working on stuff, trying to get their arm strength back up. So as long as he's healthy, he'll be fine. MLB Network's shredder, which is what they use to calculate player value, I suppose, still has him as the number 2 pitcher in baseball, I believe. Bottom 3, Higashioka with another home run, his 3rd home run of the spring. And then Aaron Judge hit one even farther over the batter's eye in center field. I saw a StatCast number that said 407, and to me, that was proof that you can't trust StatCast because it's 408 to center field, and he hit it over the batter's eye. And there's a good separation between the center field fence and the batter's eye. If you've ever been to Tampa and watched a game down there, there's a little bit of space. That ball had to go 440, 450 if it went an inch. I don't think anybody's ever hit one on top of the restaurant at Yankee Stadium, the new Yankee Stadium. At least I don't remember any Yankees doing it, and I've watched every game there. But Judge has the power to do it, and I think he's going to be the first guy to hit one on top of that center field restaurant at Yankee Stadium. He almost did it with his first home run in the big leagues, you remember? I think it went 458 feet, hit about 3/4 of the way up. But he also hit one 495 that same season, just had it directed a little bit differently. Jordan Montgomery came in for relief in the top of the 4th inning. He put a couple of guys on, but worked out of it. Saw a couple of nice off-speed pitches from him. Pulled the string on a nice changeup for a strikeout. Got another strikeout on a curveball. Had a very nice bounce-back outing. 2 2/3 innings pitched. 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. good command, and that's what you want to see with less than 2 weeks out from Jordan Montgomery. Yankees took the lead on a home run by Marwin Gonzalez. Monster shot, wrapped down the right field line. I hope he makes the team. And it's not based on his spring performance, although he is hitting, I think, 375 this spring. But he's a guy who can play all over the field. He just gives you more of that athleticism. He played second base and first base today. So I'm rooting for him to make the team. There will be 28 men on the roster to begin the season. So I'm looking forward to that. We saw Jonathan Loaizaga in the 7th, and he was throwing absolute smoke. Judge picked up his second home run of the game, by the way, in the 5th. Every good thing that he does between now and contract time is just going to add a few more crooked numbers on that contract, baby. I don't care if it is spring training. You hit 2 home runs and you hit one of them over the batter's eye. Your agent's going to bring that up at negotiation. So, hey, look, let's hear it for Aaron Judge. Give him a little round of applause here. 2 dingers today. Albert Abreu worked a scoreless 8th inning, and as I mentioned, Jonathan Loaizaga looked really good out of the bullpen. 6 pitches, 5 strikeouts, no hits. For the first time this year, let's get a little hashtag Johnny Lasagna. A little bit for Johnny Lasagna there. Ariadna says Judge is the whole W. Let's hear it one more time from Mr. John Sterling.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Sean Browning says extend Judge now. I think it's coming. I don't think you're going to have to wait too long. I think it's coming, and he looks great this spring, doesn't he? I mean, you see him going to right field there, just kind of waiting and almost inside outing that pitch. I mean, that's a pitch that if DJ LeMahieu hits it, it's maybe a double, but when Aaron Judge hits it, it's 15 feet over the fence. I mean, the guy's an absolute monster. Also, as I mentioned in the opening, I think it's time to discuss baseball movies and the Oscars. I want to hear your favorite baseball movies in the chat. Every time I ask that question, I get suggested Pride of the Yankees. It's been 80 years since Pride of the Yankees stormed the Oscars. It got 11 Oscar nominations, went home without a win. I still have not watched it. I've seen bits and pieces of it. I've got to watch it all the way through. I'm going to put that on my list for the next couple of weeks. This is the time of the year where I always watch the baseball movies. I remember a couple of years ago, I took the train from North Carolina to Tampa. Actually, I took the train to Jacksonville. It was an all-night train trip, and I watched baseball movies most of the night. I watched Moneyball. I'll never forget watching Moneyball in the train station, middle of the night. Field of Dreams was nominated for adapted screenplay, I think, in '89 from the book Shoeless Joe. And I've listened to Shoeless Joe on audiobook, and it's just not as good as the movie. I know that's sacrilege to, bibliophiles, but the score makes that movie. The score from James Horner, the musical score. And Bull Durham and The Natural both got nominations. I think maybe Glenn Close got a nomination for Best Supporting Actress in The Natural. Moneyball was nominated for Best Actor, Brad Pitt, Best Supporting Actor, Jonah Hill, Best Editing, Best Adapted Screenplay. It's hard to adapt the book Moneyball into an actual movie. If you've ever read the book Moneyball, it's very statistical, and they adapted that well into a movie. Aaron Sorkin. By the way, if you have access to Masterclass, you need to watch Aaron Sorkin's Masterclass on how to write for movies and dialogue and things like that. It was very much a masterclass. KF Cologne says Aaron Judge is a beast. I think I have an Aaron Judge sound. I don't know. Oh wait, here we go.
Objection!
So Carter 316, big Moneyball fan. Brother Bulldozer says The Sandlot. How great was The Sandlot as a movie? Benny the Jet Rodriguez. You killing me, Smalls? And then you had James Earl Jones as the the neighbor. Spoiler alert. Just says, hey, why didn't you just tell me you lost your ball? I could have gone and picked it up for you. It's just a classic movie. And I think they made a Sandlot 2, and it was exactly the same as The Sandlot 1. But yeah, I can understand, people are, people just holding on to that movie all the time. It's fantastic. Wampbag Doodle says yes. Rookie of the Year and The Sandlot. Will Smith says A League of Their Own. Lori C says Pride of the Yankees. Wompbag Doodle also says Major League. Major League is an all-time favorite. What's his name? The announcer. Oh, I think Harry Doyle played Bob Uecker. Absolutely makes that movie for me. He improv'd a lot of those lines, by the way. He's one of the funniest men in baseball. I think I've got a Major League sound effect in here somewhere. I might have deleted it. I've made a lot of changes to my sound effects over the recent days. Let's see. Another vote for Major League from Victor LeBron. Senior Nerd says 61. That's another great movie directed by Billy Crystal. And I think they filmed that in Tiger Stadium, and they put up a facade to kind of make it look like the old Yankee Stadium. That was just a terrific, tremendous movie. Easy for me to say. Let's see. UT Marianan says, woohoo! NYY Recaps is back. We are back. Appreciate it, baby. Major League and Major League 2. I like Major League 2. A lot of people didn't. But, I mean, it went from being an R-rated movie that was kind of like a dirty comedy in Major League, and then Major League 2 was more of a slapstick for kids. It appealed to me and all my 10 and 12-year-old friends when it came out. Fritz Walter says, do you like Clockwork Orange? Well, not a baseball movie. And I'll be completely honest with you. I've seen a lot of movies and I own a Clockwork Orange, but I've never sat down and watched it. I've got to be in a special kind of mood to watch what I perceive is going to be a demented, weird movie, which is what I hear Clockwork Orange is.
I was merely speaking extemporaneously.
Damian Lee says the movie's never as good as the book. I mean, for a lot of cases, that's probably true, but there are elements you can add to a movie that just make it special. And for me, when I talk about Field of Dreams, just the score by Horner, the performance by Costner, the performance by James Earl Jones, my mind, like just reading the words on the page, can't imagine anything better than that. Just cannot imagine it. Sean Browning says 42 was awesome. Fantastic movie about Jackie Robinson. Long Hard Shepherd says 3 runs for Cole. It's spring training. It's spring training. It's not a, it doesn't matter.
Get off my bridge.
People want to hate. People are going to get in there and give Gerrit Cole a hard time every time that he does anything that isn't exactly perfect. And these people usually don't watch baseball.
Dear Mr. President, there are too many states nowadays. Please eliminate 3. I am not a crackpot.
The Babe with John Goodman says Jesus the King Chavez. That was a fantastic movie. I love The Babe. When I think of John Goodman, I always think of The Babe, and I think of his performance in this movie called Red State, where he plays I guess he's like a cop, and he's trying to take down this cult house. It's crazy. It's just such a good movie, written by Kevin Smith, one of the only horror movies he's ever done. Jack Wells with 100% truth here, saying you don't need to worry about Cole. He's just getting his feel for the location.
I hardly agree.
100%. Blue City Empire Sports with a dynamite drop-in says The Bronx is Burning is my favorite Yankees miniseries movie. So it is a miniseries on ESPN. The guy who plays George Steinbrenner, I don't remember his name. He was on The West Wing. He played a lawyer. He's just one of those guys who's in a lot of stuff. Fantastic job. John Turturro as Billy Martin. I never got to see Billy Martin. He died when I was 2 years old. But I think I would have liked Billy Martin. I would have liked his temperament. I like that kind of edge in a manager. Diego Herrera says The Perfect Game. I'm not familiar with that one. Ira Sparrer says Mr. Baseball, Tom Selleck. That is an underrated movie. I got to watch that again. In fact, you know what? You just did me a favor. I'm going to add that to my list. You know, some people, they say they're going to add things to the list, but they don't really add them to the list. But I'm putting that on my watch list for this next couple of weeks because I'm going through, as I said, and watching all my baseball movies. Senior Nerd says Barry Pepper looked exactly like Roger Maris. 100% agree.
Yes, I agree.
I got a comment the other day that says my sounds were overused, so I've been trying to switch out my sounds, but some of them are still in rotation. Jack Wells says Major League 2 is not as good as the first, but it's funnier. I mean, funny is a subjective thing. I thought the first one was funnier, but I really did like the second one. It's a different kind of funny. It's a slapstick movie. I love just the way the storyline with Jack Parkman in there, where he gets in there and in the beginning they say, Parkman's doing his shimmy at the plate, drives the women here in Cleveland nuts. And then later he gets traded to the White Sox. And the announcer once again says, Parkman doing his shimmy at the plate. It makes the women here in Cleveland puke. I love it. Darth Wacko with a great point says Major League was awesome, but no more Cleveland Indians. Goodbye, Cleveland Indians. They are now the Cleveland Guardians. Derek Musciano says Bull Durham was a great movie about what it's really like to be a pro baseball player. Yeah, I like that a lot. Frankie Baseball, the highlight guy. Let's hear the applause for Frankie Baseball here. Because he wants to know my Oscar picks. He's got Coda winning Best Picture. My wife and I were talking about this morning. Every year, we make a big thing of the Oscars. So we make a big dinner. So tonight I got steaks out. And we're making some fresh mashed potatoes. And it's going to be a fun night. We got some chocolate cake. Don't eat a lot of cake. I've been dieting this year. I've lost a lot of weight since January. And so tonight's kind of a treat. It's a special night. And we've been over the last, week or so watching through a lot of the Oscar movies. I really loved King Richard. In my opinion, that was the best movie of the year. As Frankie says, CODA, which stands for Children of Deaf Adults, I think. Fantastic movie, but I found it a little bit slow. It was just a little bit slow to me. I thought Licorice Pizza was good, but it was weird. And I think his name is Paul Thomas Anderson, who directs that, tends to make movies that are either really, really good or just very, very weird. I think he also did Punch Drunk Love, which is a combination of both, really good and really weird. So I know we're not talking a lot of baseball in here, but anyway, we're just my vote, just to answer Frankie's question, for Best Picture would be King Richard. I thought Will Smith was tremendous. It's a story that we can all relate to. The Venus and Serena Williams sisters coming up through the tennis ranks, and we all got to see it happen. And Sean Browning says The Rookie with Dennis Quaid. Great story about that. Paul O'Neill still can't stand that movie because that pitcher actually struck him out. I think he said he wanted to quit baseball when a science teacher struck him out. So great drop in for Sean Browning. Sean Browning's always got some great takes. Frankie says, hot take, your sounds are underused. I appreciate that, man. I had to get a new sound for Kiner Falefa because I'm counting on him stealing some bases this year during the watch parties.
Nice legs.
That's Worf for all you
For
guys.
human.
I've been watching, I'm a big fan of Star Trek and Star Trek The Next Generation, especially. First of all, I'm going to see First Contact at the movie theater near my house on April 5th. That's my final event before I stay locked in basically for all of baseball season this year. As a content creator doing a daily baseball channel, it kind of holds you prisoner in a way that it doesn't hold your other friends prisoner during the summer. People go out and stuff. I'm here every night watching the Yankees. So my final thing that I'm doing before I lock myself in is I've bought one ticket. I was the last ticket in the theater to go see Star Trek First Contact, my favorite of the Next Generation movies. And that's going to be outstanding. And so that sound effect was Worf saying nice legs.
Nice legs.
Let's see here.
For human.
Eli says Larry Davis as George Steinbrenner. Larry David. Okay, on Seinfeld. Yeah, that was a fantastic portrayal. Blue City Empire Sports also says 8 Men Out is a great movie. Gonna have to go ahead and agree with you on that one.
Yes, I agree.
That's just such a great human story. that was an age before players made a lot of money. And this was, I think it was, right before the Depression. And so, there was a big wealth gap between the owners and the players. And I believe the owner was Charlie Finley. No, Comiskey. Mr. Comiskey. I don't remember. He withheld their bonuses or whatever. And so they decided to throw the World Series to, get money, essentially. It was a financial reason. And it really dives into, how some of the players were conflicted and some of them were against it. It dives heavily into Buck Weaver's story. And Buck Weaver was one of those guys who maintained his innocence for his whole life, but never got cleared. Alex Lackey says Brewster's Millions. Oh, God, you guys are going to hate me, but never seen it. I know. Never seen it. Pedro Serrano and Willie Mays Hayes. Serrano in that movie, he hits a slow motion home run to tie the game. And it's one of the best moments of the movie. If you watch the special features of the movie, as I often do, they say he hit that ball out of the ballpark for real, which is awesome. I remember during the 1998, I want to say Celebrity Game, Kevin Costner hit one out of the park in Coors. But again, it was Coors during the height of the steroid era in Colorado. So who knows what was going on there. Blue City says Marwin Gonzalez needs to be on the Yankees roster.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Wampbag Doodle says, always thought of Willie Mays Hayes as Kenny Lofton. Yeah, they kind of modeled him on that. Charlie Moore says, who will be the backup catcher this year? First of all, thank you for the dono. Look, you can't predict baseball, Susan, right? I mean, I'm not here to predict baseball. I'm here to make videos. And my prediction is Ben Rortvedt will be ready in time, but Rob Brantley is an option. We've seen talks recently about Wilson Contreras, but I don't think that's going to happen at this point in spring training. Again, you're one trip through the rotation, or two trips through the rotation, essentially, from opening day. I don't think that's enough time for a catcher to learn. So I think you're going to see a combination of Higgy, who's got 3 home runs this spring and had another good day today and is a great defensive catcher, as we know. I lost my train of thought. It happens. Let's see here. The Perfect Game with Kevin Costner. That was actually called For Love of the Game. So, back to the catch. So I think it's going to be Higashioka and Rortvedt. Bronx's Burning was great. 100% agree on that.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Damian Lee says, not a movie, but Eastbound and Down is great. Voiced by Danny McBride. Or Danny McBride was in that movie. He voiced one of the Oscar movies that we watched yesterday called The Mitchells versus the Machines, nominated for the Best Animated Movie. Danny McBride. That was actually filmed in Wilmington, North Carolina. Frankie Baseball says, Costanza's got the calzones. All right, on that, one more time for Mr. John Sterling. We're going to call it a day. I appreciate everybody joining. Much love to you all.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
I'll see you guys next time.